That's the end of it. But we'll just start selling fault find and report, I think, because that's where people are getting
Yeah.
the impression
So
that
okay, so
us-
what I if you got time, we'll go through what I think and what I do here. Um, we have to look at realize who we're talking to. It is accounts, it's complaints, it's whatever, and they only do what they know. If you go to a doctor, they give you tablets. You go to a surgeon, they cut you. You know what I mean? They know nothing else. You know what I mean? So that's all they know. So you got to realize, okay, this is complaints. All they know is one thing. You know what I mean? To reply back based on the information that you give them, right? So the second thing is you got to speak their language. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is, if you just reply back saying, this is ridiculous, we did this, we did this, we did this, and gave them ideas, you're giving them ideas and the correct ideas, they can't convert that into a letter. You know what I mean? All the best thing to do is just say, we arrived on site, we did this as per the scope of works, it did not work, the client must understand that we have to cover our costs as per now, and the next step is to then this part has to be done. If not, you're still payable for our fault finding. That's it. I mean, very basic. I mean,
that is exactly what you just said. There is exactly what your guys should be saying when selling, when they're giving you money, their money for a deposit. They need to be fully aware of that before they do that deposit.
No,
because
but
otherwise
okay.
you're putting them in a position where they're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Painful.
I agree with that, and we'll work on that. But we need to see what part you can play in it. You know what I mean? I agree with that 100%. I'm good. I get it. Let's move on to your part now. Your part is what clients do is they just ask the question. They're like, if I ask, I might get a discount. It's just simple as that. You know what I mean? When they ask the question, we can't get flustered. We just have to put a logical response in place.
If you read back through in the chat on that job, from what you said, I basically almost said word for word.
Okay, well, that's it. Then
just
and then just do that. You know what I mean? That's what we have to do.
In black and white. But and yet, I'm still having to say the same thing like 3 or 4 times. Now to complaints department, I've said it in chat multiple times. Let's just fight whatever. But all I'm saying is like prevention is better than the cure. I mean, prevention.
No,
is
but
better than the cure.
so we don't want to confuse the chat. You know what I mean? So what I say is, for now, this is our reply. For the future, please make sure the guys are doing that. Which I have already told Mary to change the templates. To do that.
I just think that's gonna solve a lot of things around gas servicing and that's just gonna straight away just save you a lot of mucking around and doing these kind of disputes and stuff. If that's what people understand going into it, you're gonna save a good percentage of your complaints about things on.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you from 2 years ago. I get it. I mean, because I thought our template already did that, but apparently it's not good enough. So now we'll change it. It's all good. You know what I mean?
Other than that, it's all good. 90%. Well, I reckon of a high percent, probably 80% of the all heater services have been fine. We've been gone in, serviced it. If they needed a part, most of the people understood it and said, "Yep, all right. Well, if that's what it is, they've either gone ahead with it or not, or whatever." But we've done a shitload of heater services with heaps, and majority of them all been sweet. All the customers have been happy with it and whatnot. Obviously, it's just who's selling what and how they're selling it as well. Like if they fully get what they're paying for, then people don't complain.
Not necessarily. They just do it anyway.
Yeah, some do, but they don't have a leg to stand on. Some of these people have a very good leg to stand on. They've got a legal leg to stand on. Some of these people have legitimate things like claims. You know what I mean? If you had a all out in black and white, so this is it. This is what they're paying for. They've got no leg to stand on because that's what they've signed. But we'll just obviously.
Well, if I can try this on for size, I don't know if this is going to work, but I've been trying to get it more to work, and it's been a constant thing, and I'm just trying to rephrase it in different ways. And this could be just me making it too intellectual right now, and it's going to be pretty useless. But um, every stage of the process, you know, sometimes the plumbers are like the call center's not saying and asking all the questions that I need, so my sale becomes difficult, and then you guys are saying, well, the sales guys don't do this, blah blah blah. You know? So we're trying to pass it on, and then you're getting the message, and you pass it on to the boys, and the boys do their thing. You know what I mean? They've got their own little world. The one way to possibly sum it up is going, okay, guys, we all benefit from what happens here, right, at the company. Hence, we all have to sort of account for what can go wrong, you know? So when your guys go on site, a lot of times I find with them, they're just like, I'm here to do a job and I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get every single time.
Yeah. So
you know why? Because you're issuing POs with descriptions on them. That's why. When we're quoting a job, from my point of view, I understand what you're saying already. But from my point of view, if I haven't been on site to a job, I don't know. And when the guys call me, if every job that I do, I've spoken to the sub who sold it, every single job, and we've talked about it, we've gone over it, and we've done this, done that. Before then, after then I get added to the chat, so I already know what's going on and what job it is and what's happening. Then I get added to a chat. Then we put the price in, I get my PO, and I go and do it. The problem is, if you're going to open up that whole section of it, and where you're like, all right, well, if my guys miss something and you see it on site, like, we're going to have to, you know, make sure we cover it and do this, that, and the other, which is fine. But a lot of the roofing stuff, if we see that flashing has been missed, or you need to order this or order that, all of a sudden that turns into, you know, then we've got to order it, wait 2 days, get it back, go back, fix it, and all that sort of stuff, trying to cover it within the original costings. That's just not going to happen.
But yeah, that's what we don't want to necessarily. We're happy to amend it at that point. You know?
Yeah, but at the cost of the client?
Not at the cost of the client. We just have to be able to communicate. You know what I mean, that's just a necessary part, because it's never going to run smoothly. The quotes are never going to run smoothly.
We constantly do extras that are off thing fixes here and there and doing this. We're constantly doing that. That's why we have a pretty high rate of people being happy with what we've done. We've had a few complaints, but there's no pleasing everybody. You know, like, that just is what it is. That's the clientele that you guys have. It's just people that like to complain. Most of the time.
I wouldn't say it's just an ask. It's happening to everyone, you know. That's in the free market.
Yeah, for sure. But you've got a higher volume of it because you do a higher volume of work. So we might have one or two maybe in 6 months, because we know all our clients. You guys have 1 or 2 a week. But yeah, that opens up a whole new thing, because then that makes a person in my position nervous to give you a price and quote and do the jobs, because if something major's been missed by your guys that we then have to scramble to fix up, like, if you say for instance, if you had a bloke in there who was really crap, really bad, just all his jobs are a nightmare, he's missed too much and doing this and doing that, I wouldn't do work for that bloke. Every time Chris calls me, let's say his name's Chris, every time he calls me, I'll be like, no, mate, we're too busy. But then every time anyone else calls me, I'm like, yeah, no worries. Because I don't have the confidence in him in going into jobs with him.
Yeah. So the way we write the quotes and is there's generally written in a way where if there is an amendment needed, we're okay with it. You know, we can amend it.
There's an escape code.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is something we need to come up with along the way, where we've got an out and say, oh, this has happened, we need to do X, Y, and Z, and could potentially, if we need to take that costing over to the client, this is what we have to do. There's got to be some sort of thing on the quotes, though, that gives us that wiggle room.
Absolutely, it's all there. I mean, like, okay, let me give you a guarantee, right? Say the job is worth 10,000, and your part is 5,000. So if the client if we get to the job and you're doing a section of roofing, and you do it, and you realize that it's going to work, but there's some issue. The timber underneath is a problem, for example, or there's no sarking or whatever,
Yep.
At that point, you go to us and say some issues, talk to the client, talk to the thing, and go, okay, it's going to be an extra $6,000. You talk to the seller. Then I would like you to approach the client and say, look, simple as this is what it is, it's $6,000, blah. You know what I mean? Best case scenario, no problems. They write a quoted invoice in 7 minutes. They're pretty quick. You know what I mean? Get an invoice, you get a PO. That accounts for you to travel back. Everything's there. You know what I mean? Your wasted time, your remanagement, reorganizing invoice. It's all there, right? All good. Worst case scenario, I'm telling you this right now. I'm not just telling you to sound nice. Thousands. Like we're up to like 170,000 jobs now. It's all the same. If they say no, we don't leave you exposed. We will say, okay, well, what was your cost? Say your cost. Well, up to now, I've paid my guys 2.5. You know what I mean? We'll cover it. Like you're covered. Here's your 2.5. We'll leave it, and we'll say, well, at least we've done that much work, client. You can keep. If you don't want to pay the rest of it, we'll come to a compromise. But yeah, this company won't make any money, but at least we've covered you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Yeah, mirror what you're saying. To a certain extent, we put a limit on it. Up to, I think, if you're going to do that, especially across different companies with other companies and stuff, I think you put a limit on that. You say, right, okay, let's say it's $1,000. If you see something on there and you can fix it within $1,000, do it, and then we'll work it out later or something like that.
No, I don't want to do any of that. It doesn't work. Legally, it doesn't work.
$500 or whatever. Other than that, we need to address it. Give a quote or give amended works and stuff before we carry on with it.
Yes. No. I want amended quotes no matter what. You know what I mean? Because reason being.
Yeah, but like on the day, like you're trying to get these issues sorted on the day.
On the spot while you're there, because.
Yeah, you want it sorted while we're on there.
Because you can't have the way this business model works is we're very precise. You know what I mean, with our quotes and invoices, but that can also lead to the opposite, which is when you are so precise with your quotes and invoices, the client says this item was missed, and then we get hit for it. So, for example, if you were to say, "Well, I've done that little extra bit. It was only worth $300 for me. Can you go charge the client or whatever? We'll put it into the whatever." You know what I mean? When we go back to the client, we just get totally just like no way. You know what I mean, it wasn't on the quote. You know what I mean, we don't have that scope.
Is this based off what happened at Turak?
This is based on 170,000 jobs and the way this business model works in my brain.
Yeah. This is based on all jobs. See, I would agree. In that case, if we went to a job and we didn't have to do something off the scope,
has to be amended straight away. On the chat, hey, this is not being done, blah, 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 blah. This is what's being done. Like, it happened the other day. Something about not knocking down some bricks, you know what I mean? That should be on the scopes, you know what I mean?
But we actually did the proper thing.
Yeah, but either way, it has to be there. Because people, we are precise, and we have advantages to that, but there's always the opposite. The disadvantage is people pin us on not doing it or whatever it is. You know? That's our business model. There's nothing else I can say about it. Your business model is I'll charge this flat rate and I'll be there for 3 hours, whatever. It doesn't cut it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not what we do.
But whatever it is.
I'm aware of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the only way you're going to fix that really is changing your templates, isn't it? Or having more that are tailored. But
templates are good. Yeah. They're fine. They're not a problem.
Yeah. Well, if at the end of the day, we should really be doing what it says on quote. So,
templates are so good that we had Flat Price who spend their whole day and night making templates and run and sell their templates as an app, right? So they just have guys full day time making templates. Companies buy that app and then use that template to run their whole company in plumbing and roofing. I had a look at it, sat in the seminar. Our templates are way, 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 way better than everyone's. Way better. So And we're not even a template company. You know what I mean? And that's all they do for a living. That's flat price.
Yeah. Well, do you know how the ministry works, like all the government stuff, and how they do it? Because they've got probably the best system.
What's that?
They have codes, so everything's pre-written out, and I'm talking it'd be probably twice what you have. Because it's just a government thing, and they've been running for longer. They have a code book, and then so the plumbers and whoever goes out, they have everything. They have a written write-up for change tap washers, and then they have another write-up for change tap washers and O-rings full service, and tap washers would be code. Enough. That's